The Ride Home Rants podcast is brought to you by former guest of the show and Matt Landowski and Sweet Hand Sports. Our mission at Sweet Hand Sports is to gear you up for greatness. With our top tier gloves, you are set to grip, win, and dominate. Grip your victory and leave your mark on the game. Sweet Hand Sports brings you batting gloves and now golf gloves that are designed to be durable and breathable. Go to sweethandsports.com, use the promo code BONO10 and save yourself 10%. Grip your victory at Sweet Hand Sports. Once again, sweethandsports.com, promo code BONO10 to save yourself 10%. The Ride Home Rants podcast is also brought to you by Buddy's Beard Care. Buddy's Beard Care provides premium men's grooming product at an affordable price. Products are made in Ohio, and Buddy's Beard Care supports local. The majority of their suppliers are from other Ohio-based companies. You can find them on social media at Buddy's Beard Care or online at buddysbeardcare.com. He has sent me a complimentary bottle of their beard balm. My beard has never felt softer. It has never been more tamed and has never grown faster or looked healthier. I've been using these products for a little while now, and I love every minute of it. Once again, buddysbeardcare.com. Use the promo code Mike Bono and save yourself 15%. Next, we are brought to you by Tactical Brotherhood. The Tactical Brotherhood is a movement to support America. We believe that there is a gap in focus when it comes to companies that support America. We want to be the front lines of supporting Americans and are determined to find something worth being proud of in every aspect of our military, starting with the men and women who serve and protect us. Our mission is simple: to unite like-minded individuals by celebrating what makes each one of us unique Americans. You don't have to be a veteran to join us. You just have to love America. Go to tacticalbrotherhood.com, use the promo code Mike Bono, and save yourself 10%. Once again, the tacticalbrotherhood.com, promo code Mike Bono, save yourself 10%. Next, we are brought to you by Deemed Fit, a clothing company brought to you by first responders for first responders. They are a clothing apparel company that helps those who have worked through the COVID-19 pandemic and also for all the first responders with their mental and physical health. Deemed Fit donates 100% of their net profits from the Never Forget collection sales to the Tunnel of Towers Foundation to support those from 9/11. Once again, go to deemedfit.com. Check out all of their great products. All of them have great messages. They fit and look great. Use the promo code Mike Bono and save yourself 10%. By supporting Deemed Fit through your own purchase, gifts bought for your friends, family, and colleagues, or by becoming one of our brand ambassadors, you become part of the Deemed Fit family. Don't miss out on this great way to help and support everyone who has helped and supported our country. Deemedfit.co, promo code Mike Bono, and save yourself 10%. Next, we have Shankit Golf. Shankit Golf is golf apparel made for the everyday golfer. We're not going to go out and shoot a 6 under par. We're probably going to shoot a 6 over par, but we are going to give you the gear to help you rock it on and off of the course. Our goal here at Shankit Golf is for everyone to have a great time on and off of the course, and we're going to help you look great while doing it. Go to shankitgolf.com, use the promo code Mike Bono, and save yourself 10%. Once again, shankitgolf.com, promo code Mike Bono, and save yourself 10%. Lastly, the Ride Home Rants podcast is brought to you by Web Western. Web Western is for those who roll up their sleeves and do what it takes to get the job done. The arrow serves as a constant reminder to be a straight shooter, no excuses, no bullshit, just honest hard work. It's a brand that reflects the passion within us to lend a hand when it is needed, fight to protect our God-given rights, and live life like there is no tomorrow. Be a straight shooter. Now, let's start the show. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Ride Home Rants podcast. This is, as always, your host, Mike Bono. I have a great annual episode for us today. We're going to be breaking down the NFL draft back in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and see how everybody thinks each team did in the draft. And I got a panel of guests here. I'm going to let them introduce themselves here. But guys, you know we can't get through these roundtables without a couple 50 questions to start out the show. So I need your name, and did you go to college, and what is your degree in? And will Bill Belichick get fired after the 2026 season at UNC? And Mister, we're going to start with you.
Yes, sir. Mr. Askew, aka Vampire Coach. And yes, sir, the vampire has absolutely went to school. He did graduate. And yes, I did take the senior route. It took me a little while, but I did get that degree. I got my undergraduate degree in business administration, concentration in management from Elizabeth City State. And I got my master's degree at West Virginia University in athletic coaching education. And Bill Belichick will not absolutely not get fired.
Okay. AJ, let's go to you next.
Yeah, AJ Saunders from Pittsburgh. That's where the draft was at. So I got one up on you guys. I went to Slippery Rock University, did get a degree in IT and management. So after football, I kind of like went towards my degree. I'm loving it. I love IT, love AI stuff. And then Bill Belichick getting fired. I don't think he's going to get fired. I think he's there for a couple of years, turn that program around.
Okay. Jordan, let's go to you next.
Yeah, Jordan DeMarco. I did go to college and get a degree. I went to Wingate University, played some ball down there. And then I switched my degree and finished up my schooling after I figured out what I wanted to do at Bethany College and just got my physical education there. So I'm a physical education teacher in Pittsburgh. Bill Belichick will not get fired. UNC doesn't have the balls to fire him with where their program's at.
All right. Last but not least, we got Tony.
My name's Tony Bogan. Yes, I did graduate from college. I graduated from community college with just a general arts degree. And I say, no, Bill Belichick will not get fired. He would resign before he got fired.
Gotcha. That is our guest. Everybody knows me, Mike Bono. I did go to college, Bethany College. I got my degree in communications with a minor in management with a track on the sports broadcasting with my communications degree. So with Bill Belichick, I agree with everybody. I don't think that UNC, Jordan, I think you put it perfectly. They don't have the balls to fire Bill Belichick. I don't know anybody that really does other than Robert Kraft. Other than that, yeah, I think he gets at least through the 2026 season, and then he may see the writing on the wall and he'll resign himself. But we're not here to talk about Bill Belichick. We are here to talk about the NFL draft and to see our thoughts on that. So, Mister, we're going to start with you. But, most people associate the NFL draft, say the Giants, Browns, and Jets were the best three teams coming out of the draft. Which team out of those do you think is the best in your opinion?
I have to go with the Browns. I really think the Browns did a real good job this year. And, I think they done put together two good, solid quality drafts back to back. So it's going to be interesting to see how they can make those guys do the things that they want to do in that football field. And I would even go, I think the Bengals and the Raiders did pretty good, and also Dallas. But I have to go to Brown. I think the Browns is going to be a sneaky team, man. I think they are going to be somebody to look at, especially coming down in that December and January. So I have to go with the Browns.
Okay. AJ, what about you? You're on mute.
I'm sorry, I was on mute. I don't know, man. The sleeper team is the Cardinals. I know I'm switching the subject, but the Cardinals, man, they get Jeremiah Love, man. That's pretty dope, And the 1-2 punch with James Conner, I think that's where it's at, man. I think that's all I got for you right now.
Okay. Okay. Jordan, what about you?
Yeah, I agree with Mister. I think the Browns have put together, I'm a Steelers fan, but I think the Browns have put together two solid drafts. They already have such a great defense, such a great defensive front. And it seems like they always have drafted well these last 2 years. Seems like every pick they take, you're like, man, I wish the Steelers would have got them. But I think in terms of right now, out of those three teams you mentioned, I like the Giants. I think the Giants are more set up for quicker success, as in today. I can see the Browns, they've got to solidify that quarterback position. Is Shador going to be their guy? Is he not going to be their guy? They got the pieces around him to build off the future. So I can see the Browns in a year or two really picking it up. I think the Giants are the ones that could have potential success faster than any of those three teams coming off of this year's draft. And then my sleeper team, I thought the Dolphins had a great draft. And you look at that AFC East, like the Jets stink. I don't care how good their draft is. I don't think I think the Jets are the new Browns from the early 2000s, 2010s. I think that's where they're going to be at for a long time. I think the Dolphins had a real quality draft, but I would say the Giants had the quickest route to success after the draft, after all that.
I got you. Tony, round us out here.
I'll have to say the Browns tend to draft really well, but I'm going to say the Giants had a good draft. You had Arvell Reese, a player I got to see when he played at Glenville, going to the Giants. And they've got a core. They finally got an actual good coach for once. So I think the Giants will, if their guys can stay healthy, I think the Giants will be better. So I'll say the Giants had the best draft.
I got you. Yeah, out of those three, I got to go Giants on that one. Browns, I mean, they always draft well, but they just can't seem to pull it together and put it all together to make it work for them, it seems like. And I think with Harbaugh coming in with the Giants, I think that helps them turn that around with coaching. And that actually leads us right into the next question, with the Browns and Giants, in the past, after the 2025 draft and this draft, draft well, but in back-to-back years, and now have new coaches. Do you think, are these two teams playoff contenders? And Tony, let's stay with you.
As far as the Giants goes, I'll say yes. If that core takes steps forward, I'll say yes. If Cam Scatterboot can stay healthy and the defense and the good coaching, I'll say yes. The Browns, I think they're a dark horse. I think they're a potential dark horse, depending on what happens in the North.
I gotcha. Jordan, what about you?
Yeah, I lean towards more the Giants just because it seems like their division is besides the Eagles, is a revolving door between those three teams. Sometimes you never know who's going to be the second best team in that conference, in that division, and who's going to make a run there. The Cowboys did have a good draft, though, as well, but it's just more unpredictable, in my opinion, than the AFC North is. Yeah, I think the Browns would have a tougher road ahead of them, but they do have such a great defense. So, again, if they can get some solid quarterback play, the Browns, I could see them making a run, but I'm going to go Giants. Out of those three teams, if I had to bet money on who could make the playoffs, I'd go the Giants.
I got you. AJ.
Yeah, I gotta agree. The Giants probably have a better opportunity. It's tough. AFC North is tough because you never know. I don't even know what the Browns even have right now. I'm a Pittsburgh guy, so I'm always going to talk bad about the Browns anyway. So I'm going to lean towards the Giants, man. I like Scatterboot. I also like the quarterback too that the Giants have. I think he got some grit to him, so that might be a possibility for them dudes to do some damage in the East, NFC East.
I got you, Mister. Round us out here.
I tell you what, man, I would have to agree, man, with the Giants. They most definitely have the coaching staff, and Adam Harbaugh, man. That's he's the guy who can put things together, especially with that staff that he had. I think a lot of times, we talk about the players, but sometimes the coaching staff can get overlooked. I think with the Giants, with Harbaugh, he's gonna put that team back where it needs to be. And the thing with the Browns, the one thing I have to say with the Browns, when you look at who they drafted, you're talking about, they got two wide receivers, two tight ends, offensive tackles, 6'6" and 6'7" big guy, Austin Barber from Florida. If they can get that guy to play hard and to get him to play how they think he should play, I think they're gonna be okay from up front. But that's the thing. You look at the weapons that they trying to get Shador, but I think Shador, if he can continue to grow and just be a professional football player and leave everything else, leave all the outside noise and to be a football player, I think he can be a heck of a player.
Yeah, out of those two, I got to go Giants just because the AFC North is just such a toss-up every year. It's just such a tough division to play in. Really, all four teams, can win that division every single year.
Yeah.
The Browns, as a Steelers fan, I hate to say it, but they've been coming on ever since the Baker Mayfield debacle. They're relevant, I will say, in that division. They're not the bottom dwellers that they used to be. But I think the combination of Dart, Scatterbo, and Harbaugh is going to shine this year. And I think I'm going to say a bold statement. I say the Giants win the East this year. It's just that combination alone of Paul with Dart and Scatterboo, if they can stay healthy. I think the Giants win the East and make a run into the playoffs for that one. But, Mister, who was your first round steal in this year's draft?
Who first round steal? I tell you what, man. To be honest with you, I play running back, and I'm a running back guy, and I think saying the guy from Notre Dame,
Jordan Love.
that dude can play. Yeah, Love. Yeah, I've seen him play at Notre Dame, and when I first saw him, I mean, he has everything. I mean, I thought he was better than the other guy that Notre Dame was pushing. But I think he's the dark horse right now. If he can stay healthy, put him in the right system. I think. But the one thing about him, he's a complete running back. I mean, you talking about somebody that can naturally catch out of the backfield with hands, like a wide receiver, and put him in a slot. Just depending on what they do with him, but they keep that guy healthy, man. I think he's gonna be a big time player long term in the NFL. So hopefully he can stay healthy.
Yeah, absolutely. AJ, I know you kind of already hinted at this. I think you might be agreeing with Mister, but who was your steal?
Yeah, I like Jeremiah Love. I think he's a beast. But the sleeper pick is Carnell Tate from State. He went to Tennessee. They needed a receiver, so you got Calvin Ridley and him. That's kind of a good duo to have. I mean, he's done a lot at Ohio State anyway, and he's already projected to be one of the top rookie receivers coming in already. So I'm gonna have to go with him, man.
Yeah, I like Tate. I like Love. But Jordan, what about you?
I'm gonna go Dallas. Caleb Downs. I mean, he fell to 11. He's a Swiss Army knife. I see a lot. Being a Steeler guy, I see a lot Troy Polamalu in this game. You can float him down in the box. You can blitz him off the edge. He can bail out. He's so freaking fast, sideline to sideline, physical. I mean, he's a player in my mind in the defensive backfield that you're not going to get that type of player every year in the draft. And he's a once every 10 years, once every 5 years type of guy where you can really do a lot of creative things with him in your defensive backfield that can give quarterbacks problems, and you can move them all over the place. Him going at, I think it was 10 or I think it was 11, the Cowboys picked. I thought that was a stretch that he went that far just because you can do so much with him. He's a great player. I thought that was a steal to get him at 11.
Yeah, absolutely. I like that one. But Tony, what about you?
I'm going to go with Carnell Tate at number 4. I thought Carnell would at least go 8 or 9, but Titans didn't mess around. They decided to pick him at number 4, and he's going to be a good. I think he's going to be a good receiver. We have him and Calvin Ridley, and even if when Ridley moves on, as long as Tennessee has good quarterbacking, as long as you could keep their QB upright, then the Titans should be better than they were last year.
Yeah, I like all of those. I don't think Love was a steal. I think he was going 3 regardless. I love him as a running back. I hope he does well in Arizona. Just don't think they have the line right now for him to really shine as a running back. He's going to be making a lot of catches out of the backfield, I believe, this year. And that 1-2 punch with Connor. I like that one. Carnell Tate is another big one out of Ohio State. I mean, I don't know how he fell as far as, what was he, 4? Right? I think he was Carnell Tate was 4, was he 11?
No, oh.
He was 4.
4, yeah.
He was right after Jeremiah Love, I think.
Yeah. But yeah, still, like, I mean, those guys being there. But I think the Rams got their quarterback of the future after Matthew Stafford hangs it up with taking I just had his name and it just left me. But
Ty Simpson.
Yep, Simpson. Yeah, Simpson.
He didn't even meet with the coaches. He was stunned that he got picked by them.
Secretly called, like him and McVay had just been secretly calling each other. Like that was huge. Like everyone was saying he was going to fall to Pittsburgh. I was hoping they weren't going to take him in the first round. But I'm glad to see him there. And I think with him sitting behind Stafford, I think he's going to be the steal of the draft for LA there. And speaking of quarterbacks and the Steelers, Tony, will stay with you on this one. The Steelers draft Drew Aller from Penn State to join their already pretty packed quarterback room right now with Rudolph, Howard, and possibly Rodgers if he returns, which I don't know how he hasn't just been. I thought we had a deal with he had to make a decision before the draft, but it is Rodgers, so I guess he gets a little bit more of a leash, I guess. But was this the right QB pick for the draft for the Steelers in Drew Aller?
I am going to say, as much as I like Drew Aller, I unfortunately didn't get a chance to see him play when he was in Medina. I'm going to say no, because given you drafted somebody last year, you drafted Will Howard in the 6th round. You have Mason Rudolph, who's a more than capable backup. He knows the system. And even with Aaron Rodgers being Aaron Rodgers was pretty decent last year. And I'm going to be honest, I think that Aaron Rodgers comes back this year and then just hangs it up after. And then one of those guys, not Aller, but either one of Howard or Rudolph will get traded.
Okay. I got some thoughts on that. I'll save mine for the end here. But Jordan, what about you?
Yeah, the pick frustrated me being in the 3rd round like that. I thought you could have got him a little later if you really wanted to. I hate when you draft guys off of just intangibles. McCarthy has preached as he came in. He likes big, long-armed, big-hand quarterbacks, and Aller fits that mold. You saw a lot of inconsistencies with his play at Penn State. Penn State quarterbacks don't have a great track record over the last 10 years of coming out and having success in the NFL. I would have been totally happy with keeping Howard and Rudolph, and even if Aaron doesn't come back, let those two go at it. And the Steelers they always draft middle of the road because that's what they are. You got to let one of those two figure it out and kind of move on, turn the page. The only thing that I can see as a positive of drafting Aller is maybe McCarthy wants to see a true competition. I think everyone knows Rudolph's your safe backup. I think if Aaron doesn't come back, they want to see Aller and Howard battle it out in camp, and which is something you don't always see, a true quarterback battle, it seems like, in the NFL in the preseason. But if Rodgers doesn't come back, you're going to have that with those two. I don't think Aller is anywhere near ready to come in and play immediately. I think he's got some learning to do. Not that Howard is either, but I would have been totally fine with just rolling with, let's see what Howard's got. And if he's completely terrible, run with Rudolph the rest of the year and then move on, get your guy the following year. So I'm not a super big fan of it.
Gotcha. AJ, what about you?
Yeah, I don't know what to think of it. I mean, it's possibly what he just said, bringing in Drew Aller. I guess they want a QB competition, but give Will Howard a chance, man. He's been there. You know what I mean? He has a year under his belt. I really don't like Mason Rudolph. That's just a personal thing I have against him. I mean, he had his opportunities to play, and he has really done nothing. I don't know. That's how I feel. But I like Will Howard. I like his game. You know what I'm saying? He's a little savvy. I think he'll, with the help that the Steelers got, Michael Pittman's there, Rico Dowdle's there. I mean, he has outlets. I think he could be successful this year if they just give him a chance. They gave Mason Rudolph a chance, Give him a chance. Why not just ride with it? I think Aaron Rodgers is holding Steelers stale with making a decision. I think McCarthy's like, listen, we're going to have to, let's draft a quarterback. Let's do what we need to do. And, we'll see what camp brings. But I like Will Howard. I think he should start.
I gotcha. Yeah. Mister, what about you?
When you look at the quarterback situation with Pittsburgh, Roger, if he come, if he don't, you know what? It's almost like, man, you know what, man? It's almost like, what I'm saying, when you had that girlfriend and you like, you know what, man? Yeah, today, what I'm saying, I like you, but tomorrow, we'll see. But when Friday come around, you and her kicking it for sure, because you got that Friday and Saturday, but then Sunday come around, I'm going to go with Susie. But that's how Aaron Rodgers is, bro. I mean, that's what he is as he got late in his career. You know what I'm saying? I think, you let the quarterback that you have on a roster right now battle it out. I think Will can do some things. You got the quarterback that you drafted from Penn State. He's one thing in battle. I mean, he goes. I mean, he's one of them guys, man. He like to try to make plays, but you can only make so many plays or try to make up so many plays in the NFL. And I think he's gonna learn quick, fast, and hurry. It's a little different. You know what I'm saying? In NFL compared to college, you can't just think you're gonna make up a play out of nothing. But I will let the quarterbacks that they have on roster battle it out, man. I will go ahead and move on with Aaron and just let them two guys battle it out and see, what this rookie can do, if he can do anything. But I mean, that's their saga. They love it. I like it, I guess.
Yeah, I hated this pick. You have Will Howard, a national champion. He's been there. I'm not a huge fan of Ohio State quarterbacks. I just they don't really pan out in the NFL, but I think this kid has the moxie to be one of the few Ohio State quarterbacks that have made it. I mean, and he's been there and he sat behind Aaron Rodgers for a year. So like he had to learn something. I know he didn't play much because he got hurt in camp, but why are we drafting a quarterback? This wasn't a strong quarterback draft as it was. We're drafting one in the third round. I know McCarthy probably wants the battle. If it was me, I'd have told Aaron to kick rocks. And you know what I told you? Before the draft, I needed a decision. If you didn't give me, okay, you're cut. Bye. I'm sticking to my guns. I don't care what you did for me in Green Bay. I know him and McCarthy have that history, so he's giving him a little bit more of a leash. But it's time to hang him up, Aaron. You know what I mean? Like you're old. Let's just say it. You're old, man. You're in your 40s and you're playing quarterback. I mean, not everybody's Tom Brady can do it. Even he knew it was time to hang him up. Aaron, I don't think he comes back. I think he waits to the last possible minute before camp, and then he makes his decision that he's not coming back. And I mean, I'm fine with it. I think
you got to remember he probably didn't have a reception, so he probably couldn't make the phone call.
Was he in another dark room or something, or whatever, retreat, whatever the hell he was doing, or whatever those things that he does. Man, the dude's just, I mean, he was a hell of a quarterback. I mean, he's obviously going to be a Hall of Famer, but you got to hang him up before you can get there.
Johnson? Do you let Aaron Rodgers walk and then pick up Josh Johnson to hold the clipboard?
I mean, let's just let Mason hold the clipboard. You know what I mean?
Yeah, give it to Mason, man.
Mason's good at holding that clipboard. He's been holding the clipboard for us for years, so he knows the system. Let him do it. He's a proven backup. That's what Mason Rudolph is a proven backup. Yeah. So yeah, I did not like this pick at all. I think it was a wasted pick for Pittsburgh in the third round. Mister, let's go with you on this one. If you were the Jets at number 2, I mean, the Jets need help anywhere and everywhere on their team. They're just habitually the bottom feeders of the league. Who would you personally have drafted for this team in the spot, knowing Mendoza was already off the board? Fitty said he had to do that. I have to get a Jets question in here with Fitty. We're helping run the show as a Jets fan, but Fitty said he would have taken Sonny Styles for this pick. Would you?
I was just about to say that. I would have taken Sonny Styles. That's exactly who I would take. I would take Sonny Styles from Ohio State. You're talking about somebody that's versatile. He can play, linebacker, strong safety. Heck, he can probably play nickel. But he's somebody that I would have took. I would have took Sonny Styles. And if I could, I would have got his goddamn brother too, Lorenzo Styles.
Would you have taken Jeremiah Lovett too?
I would have went with Sonny.
Okay.
I would have went with Sonny Styles. Yeah. I would have, as much as I would love to, I would have went with Sonny because from a defensive standpoint, you can put him in a lot of different positions. I mean, he's the guy, man. Man, you talking about somebody that can play outside. I think he can play strong safety, probably even nickel. I mean, he's a strong, quick, fast. And one thing that you look for with football players is their instincts. And he got instincts. If there was a measure of instincts, his would be off the chart.
I got you. AJ, what about you?
I can't go against that either, but I would have went with Caleb Downs though, because they got Minka, and they just got rid of, Sauce Gardner too, so they need a DB. You know what I mean? And to help the defense out because they sucked. They didn't get any interceptions. year. That's kind of crazy. You got fired the whole defensive staff when you can't get interceptions. So you got Minka and then you got Caleb Downs at 2. I think that's going to help you out.
Hey, hold on, coach, man. Come on, man. Nah, hey, players play, coach to coach.
I know.
I can't pick the ball off for you, baby. I can put you in a position, but I can't do it no more.
Well, you know how
you,
professionalism is. It's not always on the player; it's on the coach, though. So I got to put you in position to make plays. If I can't do that, then I guess you got fired.
Yeah.
Jordan, what about you? Who would you take it to if you were the Jets?
2 words, or I guess 3. Ohio State defense. You got Sonny Styles, Arvell Reese, Caleb Downs. You couldn't go wrong with any of those 3 at that pick. You get someone for the edge. You get Sonny Styles, who's a Swiss Army knife in the box. You get Caleb Downs, who can play anywhere on the field, like AJ said. You can't go wrong there. When your team sucks, okay, when your team stinks, you draft defense. They don't have a quarterback. They don't have an O-line. Your team's terrible. You got to build on the defense for the future. Then when you're drafting 1 or 2 overall next year, and then the year after that, then you get your big boys for the offense, your playmakers. So when you stink and you know you're going to stink this year and you know you're going to stink next year, you draft Ohio State defense when you got those 3 opportunities that high.
Gotcha.
I kind of like Geno Smith, though. I think he's a game manager. So, like, he's better than Justin Fields in that aspect, you know?
Agree. I just think he's going to get killed off the edge. But I 100% agree because their O-line stinks.
Yeah.
But he's a much better upgrade from Justin Fields. I fully agree with that.
For sure.
Seeing him back in New York.
I got you. Tony, what about you?
I can never go wrong with any Ohio State defensive player. I would have gone with Sonny Styles. As a Saints fan, the fact that we drafted his brother is actually hilarious. You could have had 2 brothers on the same team, not only in college, but at the professional level.
I gotcha. I don't hate the Sonny Styles. I mean, choice by Fitty on that one. But yeah, Jordan, you hit the nail on the head. The Jets suck. Like that. That's the. There's no nice way of putting it. They suck.
Aaron Glenn's got about a 6-game leash this year, and I bet you he's fired before week 7.
I was gonna say that's a long leash for me. I would.
Yeah.
You're not making it to week 6 for me.
Aaron Rodgers couldn't even fix that team.
Yeah.
I think Aaron Glenn.
You know, like everybody said, when you're habitually that bad, you got to shore up that defense and then work on your offense. If you can't stop them from putting points on the board, you're not going to win many games. You got to go defense, and I like all those picks. Tony, we hinted at this a little bit. What do you like about the Rams pick there with Ty Simpson in the first round? Does he? I mean, he's sitting behind NFL MVP QB. You know, how does that help him and learn and grow with that system?
Honestly, it gives him some time to just. It's kind of like Green Bay, like Aaron Rodgers did with Brett Favre, Jordan Love did with Aaron Rodgers. It can only help him, to be honest, is because one, you're not rushing him into action, or it could be one of those Atlanta things potentially. Maybe Stafford gets hurt and then you throw him in there and see what he's got. So I think it can only help him.
I got you. Jordan, what about you? What do you think about Ty Simpson?
Yeah, I think a lot of people, to the naked eye, and when I say the naked eye, people that don't really follow football or play football or coach football, they look at that pick and they scratch their head and they go, why in the world would you draft someone at 13 that's not going to help your team right now? And it is more of the Jordan Love, template. But I think more teams should do this. If you know you're going to need a quarterback in the next 2 to 3 years, it's such a gamble when you don't have one to draft one high and just hope he can start immediately than it is to put him in behind a Hall of Famer, let him learn, and then you give him the keys in 2 years. You don't just give your son the keys to a car when he's never gone behind it before. You gotta train him and work him into it. And I think it's actually a smart pick. It's just tough because people are going to look at it and go, there was other people right there that could help you win right now. But it's a safe bet to have stability for the future and success for the future. So I don't mind the pick at all. I thought it was a good pick.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the Rams need help right now. I think they need to start preparing for the future, and I think that's what they did with that pick with Ty Simpson for me. But AJ, what about you?
For Ty Simpson, I think it's the best situation for him to sit back and,
Mhm.
you know, learn from somebody who won a Super Bowl. I think that's the best situation you can be in. Obviously they're going to keep on winning. They have a great offense, and they have a subpar defense that's going to get the job done. But they just win, so you're going to learn how to win, and that's the best situation you can be in. A lot of rookies that they come in not good situations, and coaches coming and going and stuff like that. They've been there. So he's going to know the system. And I guarantee you, if McVay leaves, I guarantee you the OC's probably going to stay and take his position because that's just how the Rams work. But they took a gamble. The Rams took a gamble years ago by cashing in all their freaking picks and just going into free agency to win a Super Bowl when Aaron Donald was there. And I think this is, with him being there, I think he's going to learn, like, okay, this is how I'm going to win. Puka Nakua is going to be here for a while. That's the future, and that's probably going to be his go-to guy in the future. So it's a good situation for him.
I got you, Mister. Round us out here.
Yeah, I believe it's a solid pick for them, getting a quarterback for the future. Because, when you draft a quarterback that high and you have one on the table, I think they preparing for the future and they saying like this guy can, we're saying that this guy can be 7 to 10 years, saying can give us 7 to 10 good years. I mean, that's what you do when you say that, when you draft somebody like that, you hoping him that he can be a franchise quarterback. So if he can sit and learn and just absorb everything that he get, in the classroom, in the film room, and continue to learn, it can really pay out big dividends for them. So I think it's a good one for them. It's a solid choice, solid pick.
Yeah, I don't hate this pick. Like, I was shocked when they made the pick because I didn't even know he was on their radar or to go that high with the limited starts he had at Alabama. But you give him that opportunity to sit and learn behind an NFL MVP and a Super Bowl champion. I mean, who wouldn't want to do that? You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm going to make first round money. I'm going to sit, hold a clipboard, and learn from one of the best in the game in Matt Stafford and how to win games and learn the system so that when it is my time in 1, maybe 2 more years after Stafford decides to hang it up, and I'm ready to go. I know the system. I'm ready in it, and let's just keep winning. And I think most people, Jordan, you hit it on it, but people that not that don't watch football, don't follow football, don't coach football, hate this pick. I love the pick. Get your guy, get him now, lock him in, and get him ready for when he's ready to play. That's simple GM work right there, and that was an easy decision by the Rams. They were sneaky with calling him and not letting it be known to the public that they were taking him. I like that pick. I like that strategy by McVay. You were going to say something.
Yeah, and not only that, he fell in the right lap too because they have offensive minded coaches. Like LA, their offensive minded coaches are very genius. Like McVay is a genius when it comes to offense. And he learned that. You know what I mean? And all his coaches are like that too. So I think he's gonna learn a lot, not by X's and O's, but like the way he's going to manage a game, he's going to learn from Matt Stafford and how he does it. And it's going to help him grow in those next couple of years. He might even take over sooner than we think. So
Yeah, like I said, I don't hate the pick, but Mister, let's go back to you. Pittsburgh was the host of the draft, and it seemed to be done outstanding by the city and the team and the NFL. What is the one city you would want the NFL draft to go to next? And how do you think, I mean, would it be as incredible of an experience that it was in Pittsburgh?
I'll tell you what, Pittsburgh really they do everything good. They do everything well out there. That's one of the things that I've thought about for a while. Because the draft was always in New York, and at first I was like, what I'm saying, just keep it. If it ain't broke, what I'm saying, why try and fix something? What I'm saying, it's in New York. That's where everybody want to go to, New York. But I think what it does is just give what I'm saying, the whole country of a time and a piece, what I'm saying, of a draft. When draft time has come. So I think the NFL did a pretty good job in just moving around. Then also, for them, it's a good marketing thing for them too. And that's all they all about anyway, marketing and getting their product out. But I would like to see it, I'm saying, probably, I tell you what, here's a crazy one. Take it down to Savannah, dog. Go down in the swamp. Take it down to the swamp area. Just go down to Savannah with the trees and the beach. know what I'm saying, something different, totally different. Now, I know they don't really have the stadium or the place for it right now, but they do got that banana baseball stuff going on. But I would have to say probably Savannah or Key West, somewhere just weird, somewhere just weird. No, all this little city stuff. No, take it to somewhere that's just totally weird, man. Off the radar type stuff. I'll go to the Ozark. Me. But hey, that's me though.
AJ, what about you?
Where they play the Hall of Fame game, man. Have it in Canton. Why not have it there? You have the draft, and then you have Canton right behind it, and then you can go through Canton and look at all the stuff, all the records being broken, all the jerseys that are hung up. The history of the NFL is there. You know what I'm saying? It's something different, but I don't think it's ever been in Canton. And it might be just something different. That just came to my mind because I've never seen the draft at Canton, Ohio.
Yeah, I'm so mad because I didn't think anybody was going to say Canton, AJ, and because I was going to say Canton, and you took my city, man. Like I was ready, I was prepared to say Canton because I didn't think anybody was going to say it. I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at
You can say it again. You can. Yeah, I know you got more to say than I.
Gotcha. Jordan, what about you?
Yeah, AJ beat me to the punch. I was watching, the draft in Pittsburgh. I'm like, you know what, man, Canton would be a sweet place to hold it. You got all the history. Like, I thought it was really cool, not only because I'm from Pittsburgh and Pittsburgh shows out. I mean, it's the biggest draft ever. They said 805K, but having it in a true football town that's got history, it made me think of Canton when I was watching it. Like keeping it in the Rust Belt of Ohio and PA and Western PA and stuff, like it makes so much sense because there's just so much football pride and history there, and that's why so many people show out, man. Because it's what those two states have in common is they are football through and through. So Canton would be really, really cool. Like AJ said, you got all the history there, the Hall of Fame's there, all that stuff. Going back to Mister, you want to have it somewhere off the wall that they haven't had it yet, take it down to Hawaii. Take it down to Honolulu, take it to Hawaii. They don't do much in Hawaii in the NFL anymore. They don't even have the freaking Pro Bowl there. So you want to get back in Hawaii with the NFL, you take the draft down to Honolulu, you call it a day. The only problem is you have to start that bad boy pretty early because of the time change. But having it in Hawaii would be pretty freaking cool if you want to have it somewhere off the wall. But I like keeping it in the Rust Belt, keep it in football pride, Western PA, Eastern Ohio, all of Ohio. Let's do it there.
Yeah. Tony, what about you?
They took my answers as far as Canton goes. I would have liked to have seen it in Canton as well. But if we had to keep it within that Rust Belt, I'd say Buffalo. I don't think Buffalo's ever held the draft. I think that would be pretty sweet, especially with their new stadium that's, I think, this year. What a way to break in a new stadium. That or, and I'm just saying this as a Saints fan, New Orleans. How about party on the French Quarter, eh?
I don't hate that pick. Buffalo's tricky because of where they're at and the time of the year that the draft is with the weather in Buffalo.
No.
The snow. Yeah. I mean, hell, Tony, you were having snow today. It's May the 2nd when we're recording this here, and you had snow in Ohio here. So you know what I mean? You take that up to Buffalo, New York. You might not get anybody there because it was snowed in, but I don't hate it. You know what I mean? Like that's a good city. That's a party city too as well. So many tables getting broken if it's up in Buffalo. I like Pittsburgh. I like the Canton one. Just I don't think there's off the wall places. Hawaii is a good one, but yeah, the time change is really gonna screw with some people and how early you'd have to start it and getting people there to Hawaii. But yeah, taking it down to the swamp, Mister. That's not a bad idea. Get some people, some culture down there, and get them out into Savannah, and let's go see some Savannah bananas. You know what I mean? Who doesn't like watching them? Like that's just entertaining baseball debate. Like that's amazing baseball. But here we go, Tony. We're going to round out this show with this question. Now that the draft is over, do you think A.J. Brown from the Eagles is being traded? And if so, where does he end up?
I think that he does end up being traded. Where he ends up, I don't know. He could end up in New England. He could possibly end up in Denver as a compliment to Jalen Waddle, or he could go down to South Beach to Miami. Those are my top three options for him.
Okay. Jordan, what about you?
Yeah, I think he's gone. I think they're over that situation over there. I mean, they drafted, Mekhi Lemon, who's going to be a plug and play guy immediately. Not that he's the same type of receiver as AJ is. He's definitely not. Different body style, different play style. I think they're done with the baggage of that. Relationship just seems to be on the rocks now for a little bit. The Patriots, I mean, they keep linking them in the Patriots. You got a young quarterback. You just went to the Super Bowl. You need a little bit more talent on the outside. That makes the most sense. But who's going to be willing to make that trade? I'm not sure. If I had to bet, I'd bet the Patriots. But they got a lot of stuff going on right now over there in the Patriots organization, if we know what we're talking about. So who knows what's happening there?
Yeah. AJ, what about you?
Yeah, he's definitely going to get traded. I mean, Sirianni, he can only take so much, and then that front office is like, yeah, he has to go. But where he goes, I have no idea. The Patriots, maybe, but maybe Washington. I think they need somebody else with Terry McLaurin, man. I think that'll be a good pickup for them. I know Deebo Samuels is still looking for a spot to be at, but for AJ, I think he's getting traded. He's getting traded.
Mister, what about you?
So I tell you what, those are something that Tony mentioned, Jordan. I mean, everybody had mentioned. New England, that might be one of the perfect spots. We know they love taking packages. That as many packages that owner has, and many players I had that came to New England, that would be almost probably a perfect. That's probably a win-win situation. And then and Washington might not be bad, but if you get to New England, I think it can probably be a good situation. I know we always talking about, new start, new this, new that. I think it's to a point now, man. Some people just like to have other people dirty baggage, dirty luggage, and but
Yeah, but
I
they make
think
it work for them. They make it work for them in New England.
That's
like,
right.
They have, they've been known to have that baggage type of deal, and they'll take anybody, and it works for them.
It does.
I mean, AJ Brown, he's definitely not going to be in Philadelphia. That's just, I mean, anybody with a brainstem can see that. If you know anything about football, or even how to spell the word football, no team wants to deal with that baggage typically for that long. Sirianni's dealt with it for enough. He's over it. And you know what? It's time to cut ties. We drafted a receiver. We're going to draft your replacement. That pretty much told him, hey, you better have your bags packed because you're going somewhere else. It's just going to be able to find the suitor and somebody willing to do it. I've heard ties with him in New England. Miami's a good choice for him too as well. I think Denver is the sleeper to get him and Waddle out there together. And with that young core there, I think that would do well for Denver and would really help them elevate to where they want to be and maybe even make a run towards the Super Bowl this year. I think if he ends up in either New England or Denver, I'm calling it right now, that team will be in the Super Bowl and be a contender, and it'll be an entertaining Super Bowl, not like this last one. This last one was just terrible to watch. But I think, if it's Denver or New England, I'm calling it right now. That team will be in the Super Bowl. That is actually going to do it with that thought there for this episode of the Ride Home Rants podcast. I want to thank all of my guests here, Mr. AJ, Jordan, and Tony, for joining the show and getting to break down the NFL draft. This was a lot of fun. I love my city of Pittsburgh, growing up near there. I think they put on a hell of an event, and it really shows that this is going to be a normal and annual thing going around to other things. And as always, if you enjoyed the show, be a friend, tell a friend. If you didn't, tell them anyways. They might like it just because you didn't. That's going to do it for me, and I will see y'all next week. The Ride Home Rants podcast wants to thank you for listening and let everybody know that we do offer monthly subscriptions to help support the show in other ways other than listening and downloading each episode. What you will get with each subscription is you will get bonus episodes that aren't released to everybody. You will also have a chance to ask me anything each and every month where I will put out a special episode just to answer your questions. You will also get more exclusive content that is not released to everybody. To subscribe to the show, go and click on the link in the description of this episode, and I look forward to your added support and to help us keep this show going.